Several years ago, when we were in El Salvador, I locked eyes on a young 9-month-old boy who was lying in one of the beds with a huge endotracheal tube in his mouth, about 4 times the size of what it should have been. He was wide awake, trying to spit that tube out. He wasn't sedated. He was tied down because he hadn't been sedated. The next morning when I walked in, he had spit out that tube and he had died. And it was really at that moment that CareWays was born. So since 2007, we've been going to various countries around the world with the concept in mind that we could teach pediatric airway surgery through this context of multidisciplinary care, that it wasn't just getting the children on and off the operating room table safely, but it was how do you care for them before and after that? How do you care for a child holistically? And we did it successfully, and we continue to do it successfully. That's just a drop in the bucket. There is an international need, there's a desperate need. But at the same time, there's a lack of resources or a lack of education or really a lack of a system. How are you going to care for those children carefully and safely to get them from the home to the operating room, to the intensive care unit, to the wards and home? CareWays is about subverting that model of teaching one particular aspect of surgical and medical care and spanning that out to a global need for surgery across dimensions. We're no longer a mission. We are truly a collaboration. For CareWays to be successful, everybody has to have a voice. The surgeons, the intensivists, the anesthesiologists, the respiratory therapists, the parents, the speech pathologists, the nurses. Everybody has something to add to help care for that child. How do I teach a system how to do that? The education that they need, and how do we change the culture? How do we flatten it so that everybody has a voice? If we go and teach this well in Cartagena, where we recently were, the healthcare team in Cartagena can then bring it to Bogota. They can bring it to Medellin. We start with one system, one group, and it spawns to another group in another country and goes outward and outward and outward. And that's how it becomes scalable and sustainable. It is a collaboration, and it's not just focused on airway surgery. It's focused on children needing surgery, whatever that surgery may be. Our goal is to use the system that we're developing now so that this experience for that child, wherever they may be in the world, isn't an end, it's a beginning.